topic of today's lecture is feed and feeding. If you want these birds you are collecting today to be matured in the next 5 weeks, you must pay attention to feed and feeding. There are 3 ways in which we feed our birds. Or rather, you must pay attention to these 3 points. 1, the kind of feed you give your birds from day 1 to 2 weeks. I assure you, the kind of feed you give your birds from day 1 to 2 weeks will guarantee success of those birds at 5 weeks. If you actually want these birds to be matured in the next 5 weeks, please give them the best of feed from day 1 to 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks of their life is the most critical point. If you want to trigger their growing ability, you must take advantage of the first 2 weeks of their life. And in that first 2 weeks of their life, the best of feed is what is required. Do not compromise their feeding in the first 2 weeks of their life. And I assure you, by 5 weeks, your birds will be matured. These birds, the day-old chicks' ability to grow, the tendency to grow, and the percentage is higher at the first 2 weeks. In fact, they command 80% growing percentage at the first 2 weeks. So take advantage of that period and then trigger their ability to grow. So use the best of feed from day 1 to 2 weeks. The second point is that make sure you do what we call continual feeding or feeding ab libitum. 24 hours feeding, non-stop feeding if you actually want these birds to be matured at 5 weeks. Make sure these birds do not doubt you for a moment that there is no food. So make adequate provision for them even before you make your booking. And of course, if you are picking 50 birds, make sure you make provision for 7 bags of feed. 50 birds, 7 bags of feed. They will not consume all the 7 bags of feed. At most 6 bags and a quarter, we grow them to maturity at 5 weeks. And when you tolerate some level of wastage, 6.5 bags will go. And if you now totally allow them to waste the food, 7 bags must go. So try as much as possible to do what we call continual feeding. As you commence feeding them from day 1, please, the feeding can should not be empty until 5 weeks. Allow them to eat at will, drink at will, rest at will. Don't decide when to eat, how to eat, when to rest for the birds. No, allow them to do that for themselves. So I've spoken about getting the best of feed. That is point number 1. And then feeding continually. That is to say, if you get the best of feed and you don't give them, make it available, these birds will not be matured by 5 weeks. Even if it is the high quality feed you are giving them. And of course, you know that broilers is garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you see at 5 weeks is the result of what they consume, what they ingest inside, or what they take in. So you have to be very conscious of those two first points. The best of it, and then doing what we call feeding ab libitum, or continual feeding. Then the third and the last point, but not the least, is that you must prevent wastage. Yes, you must prevent wastage. If you get the best of it, and you allow this birds to waste it, that weight, that 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, or 2.8 that is required at 5 weeks, you may not get it. Are we getting it? For them to get to maturity at 5 weeks with good weights, it is a resultant effect of what they consume inside. So if you allow them to waste the food you are giving them, certainly you will not see, they will not meet up maturity, or you will not see growth at all. So it's very important you are conscious of that. No matter how rich the feed is, if you don't make it available, one, or you allow them to waste it, these birds will not meet up maturity. So it's very important you take cognizance of these 3 points. 1, make the very best of feed available for them. 2, do what we call continual feeding. And 3, prevent wastage. Before I wrap it up at this level, I want to give us some clue on how to prevent wastage. You know, so many of us are unconsciously wasting our money in the way and manner we feed our birds. Yes. From the beginning, you are expected to use what we call a chick tray or a chick feeder. Those two equipments are only meant to be used for 3 days of at most 5 days upon their arrival. If you continue using chick tray or chick feeder beyond 5 days, you are just wasting your money, because they will be wasting the food you are giving them. Are we getting it? So you are meant to use the chick tray 3 days, if it is chick feeder at least 5 days. Beyond 5 days, move the birds to medium-sized feeding can. Medium-sized feeding can. So that they don't get access to the feed with their legs. The moment they have access to the feed with their legs, they will waste all the feed. So move the feed to a medium-sized feeding can, and it should not stop at that. As soon as they get to medium-sized feeding can, please, as the birds are growing, be growing up the feeding can also. The feeder should not be left on the bare floor. As the birds are growing, please lift the feeding can upwards. Place it at the level of their back so that they can leap and eat and even drink also. So it's very important you take note of that. With these few points, I believe somebody is enlightened this morning.
Follow us now on all our social media platforms for more educative contents like this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.